Hi, I'm Mallory, and today I'm going to show you how to use Alert IIS to do your immunization reporting for schools and childcares. Let's go over to the system. Okay, at the end of this training, I'll show you how to get a login. Once you get a login, you will go to the Alert IIS website, and there's a 3-step login process. You're going to have an org code, a username, and a password. All of these are case sensitive, so beware if you have the caps lock on or not. Okay, once you log on, the system is going to look like this. Here's my school, local, county, sample school. And on the side in the blue is where you're going to find the things to do. The main things you're going to use is find student and manage list. The manage list is a way to create a list of the kids in a classroom or in your school. And then once you have this list, you can run reports to see who is due for vaccines. So first you have to create the list. So I'm going to go to Manage List. And right there at the top is a new list name. So mine is going to be Mal's class. And then I'm going to hit Save. And you'll see Mal's class has 0 students. So let's go add students to this list. I do that by going to the Find Student button. And then you always need the student's birth date and then the first or the last name. So what I'm going to do is search for students by using just the first couple letters of either their first or their last name. This saves me time in both typing, but also it is likely to find the match more quickly versus if you did a typo, then you have to redo it. So the first kid in my school is Earl Gray. So what I'll do is just do the first 3 letters of the last name and the birth date. And then I hit Find. There's Earl, it's the correct birth date. So there's a couple things on the record that are really important. One being the immunization record. Here are all the vaccine Earl has gotten, the dates. And then at the bottom in this section here is what Earl is due for. So anything in green means Earl can get it. Green means go. So there's COVID vaccine and DTaP and Hep A. And you may be thinking, but COVID's not required for school and childcare. You're right. So what you do is you go back to the top and there's this tracking schedule, and it is likely going to be on ACIP. ACIP is what the doctors use to figure out what this person is due for. You're going to change it to the correct grade level. Earl is 4, so he's in preschool. So I click preschool, and then I go down, and it looks completely different. It's complete for all these things except hepatitis A. It's green, so Earl is due for that. Okay, so we've now figured out how to look at the record, what Earl is due for. I'm going to add him to my list because he's in my class. So right here in this report section, it says pick a report list. Click that, and there's Mal's class. So I select that and then hit add the student to a report list. And then if you click this pick a list report and there's nothing there, that list is gone, it means that this kid has already been added. So we've added Earl. Okay, those are the main things. The 2 other things I want to show you is how to print the record. So if you wanted to print the record just like this, you would hit print confidential. This can be really helpful to give to a parent because it shows what they're due for. For your records, you're going to want to pick school record. And if you do that, you can see it takes all the vaccine information and adds it to that certificate of immunization status, that school record. That's all the dates, and in the signature, it says printed from Oregon Alert IIS and the date. This means you don't need a parent to sign it. You are all set. You stick it in the kid's record and you're done. Okay, so going back, those are the main things to do on a record. Now let's look at our next student. So we go to Find Student. This kiddo is Ruby Red. Let's look up Ruby. So I'm going to use the first name this time, just R-U-B, and the birth date. And then I hit Find. There's Ruby. I'm going to change the tracking schedule to preschool daycare. Going to add Ruby to my class. And then look at the record. Ruby has lots of vaccines, and it shows that Ruby is complete for everything. And then in the varicella, it says contraindicated. Contraindicated means that there's some reason why Ruby should not get this vaccine. And looks like they haven't gotten any. So one way to figure out what that means and why is if you hit the print confidential, you can see a comment here that on August 20th, 2022, the doctor wrote that they have a history of varicella, chickenpox. So this kid got varicella, got chickenpox. So they don't need the vaccine. So they have immunity documentation and they are complete and they don't need to be getting an exclusion letter. So we'll go back, and those are the things for Ruby. And you can print the school record, that is that CIS form. Okay, there's one more kid in the class, so let's go to Find Student. And then the last kiddo is Forest Green. Okay, so if there is more than one person in the system in alert that has the first three letters of the last name, or the same demographic information, same birth date and same name, you're going to have to look. Am I looking for Forest or Emmett? I'm looking for Forest. Click on that, and now we get to the Forest record. Change the tracking schedule, add Forest to my list. And now it says this patient has no immunizations associated with it, and they're due for everything. So this could be for a couple reasons. One, they've never been vaccinated. That could happen. Could also be that they've been vaccinated, but in another state, and they haven't brought that record to a doctor here in Oregon. Or they go to school in Oregon, they live in Oregon, and they go to a provider, a doctor's office in another state. Those are all reasons. So if that was the case, you'll need to ask the family, is this right? Do they have vaccines or not? Okay, so we've added Forest to our list. We've added everybody in my class. So now I'm going to go to Manage List. I see Mel's class and 3 kids. So I click on Mel's class, and there's a couple different reports. There's a student list report. This has the kid's name and date of birth. It's a nice roster. The immunization history list, that's every kid's record and what they're due for. It's like 1 page per kid. Then the immunizations due is probably your most useful report. That takes all the kids on the list and says who are due for vaccines. So this is a great way to know who's complete and who's missing. So we're going to run that report, but super important is that you have to change the tracking schedule to the right thing. because if you leave it on ACIP, it's going to show what they're due for at the doctor's office. And that will have flu and COVID and all those things. Okay, so I change it to preschool daycare and I click the PDF. And you don't have to do anything. You just hit generate. And what that does is says, as of today, who is due for vaccines? So the report is running, and to see its status, you'll hit refresh. And it's 90%. And you just kind of keep clicking that until it gets to 100%. Okay. So I have run this report already, and you can see here, make it a little bigger. There's 2 kids. We've got Forest Green and Earl Grey. So we already knew because we looked at the records, Forest Green had no immunizations, and Earl was just due for that 1 hepatitis A. Here are the vaccine dates and the one that they're due for. They're due for their 2nd hepatitis A. So you can print this off, you can cut up, there's 3 per page, and give it to the parent. Before that, I would check your records to see if any of these kids have a non-medical exemption on file. So maybe Forrest family has done a non-medical exemption and you have that documentation. That means they're all set. The alert system does not have non-medical exemptions in it. It only has vaccines. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so we have gone over the main functions of Alert IIS. If you do not have a login yet, I'm going to show you what to do. You are going to go and create an email oregon.inm@odhsoha.oregon.gov. In that email, include your name, your school and childcare facility, and the day and time you took the training. We will email you the paperwork that you need to get a login. Thank you very much.